Hi, everyone, and welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. This is a love reading for the sign of Scorpio. If you're watching for Scorpio, just probably reverse the roles. It'll feel like I'm speaking to you about your Scorpio. So I've shuffled your deck and I've pulled your cards. Bottom of the deck is the star. I have some cards for past energy so I can see what's going on or has been going on. Present, future advice, one for the person in your energy and one for you. Looking at the bottom of the deck, I think you made a really good choice here because this is showing me that it was like no matter how you showed up for whoever this is, they just would remain single. Like it didn't, even if this person ended up with other people, they remained single from you, is what this is showing me. It didn't really matter how much you gave to this person. They never seemed happy. But what's weird is I'm also seeing that this person saw you as like a soulmate or probably the person that they should have been with. Whoever this is, it's coming through. It seems like maybe they went through a nasty divorce around the time you met them, or they were getting out of some kind of karmic separation. And they were so stuck on whoever this past partner was. It's almost like even though they were single, they didn't feel single. They spent a lot of time reflecting on like the breakup of this past situation. Could have even been that you felt like this person used you to come out of the grief they felt, because I don't feel like they were over this person. I don't feel like they got over this person in the time they were with you, but it's almost like they were using you to make them feel better, and maybe even stringing you along, but there's this energy here of them being like, I'm going to be single forever, and then wanting to be in your face, right? I'm seeing that even though there was a love here that you got to a place where it felt like there wasn't really anything you could do but start honoring yourself. And I'm seeing that you had to let this go because this was affecting your self esteem. For some of you, this even started to affect your finances, is what this looks like, because you were so focused on like the lack you were feeling from this person. It could have actually started energetically affecting other areas of your life. Oh, wow. So, what's frustrating, I think most frustrating for you about this situation is whoever your person is so stuck on, they're like a really I don't even know how to say this. This person could be an addict. They could be a parent who doesn't take good care of their children. This could be someone who has a hard time keeping a job. This is someone who, you might look at their picture and wonder, why does my person want them so bad? I just don't see it. Like, they're not overly attractive. They don't have great qualities. They're broke or they're in debt. And they have a loose personality. Like, I wouldn't doubt if this person cheated on your person, slept around with people they knew. Like, this person's energy is just really gross. And so I see your frustration because it's like, okay, you shouldn't be crying over leaving this person or this person leaving you. You should be celebrating. You should be seeing me in all of my glory as the blessing for what you had to put up with from your last partner, right? There's this energy of, thankfully, you not like gaslighting yourself into thinking that this person was in some way more together than you. Like, you were very practical when you did your assessment of this ex partner, is what this looks like. But if anything, it actually made you feel even worse, because it's like, okay, if this ex had it together, I could understand why my love interest is having such a hard time getting over them, right? But the fact that this ex can't hold a candle to me on my worst day, this is not only embarrassing, but it's just like downright frustrating. Like, what is the problem, right? There's an energy of this making you feel like you needed to get away from the person on your mind or the person in this reading because you didn't want to keep being a rebound. It seems like they didn't want to ever commit and they would have just strung you along forever. And then on top of that, it looks like maybe they even have a habit of committing to new people that they meet, which really is just like, how is this person so blind to all that you do and how you support and show up? And I feel like for a lot of you, this could have been like a repeating pattern that you've had since childhood, right? This could be something like I'm seeing mom and dad. So it's almost like trying to save somebody, trying to help somebody heal, and not being able to get them to ever like see their own greatness or to see why they need to like leave an abusive partner. There's something here where it's like you're always in the role of being the caregiver, but it's at the expense of your self esteem, your self worth. It's really quite sad, right? And it feels like this is almost a karmic situation in a lot of ways with what I'm seeing here. Because when you were dealing with this person, it was like impossible for you to be your best self just based on the way that they took you for granted, right? When you're pouring into someone and they never see your efforts or never like, I'm not saying you need validation, but if you're going the distance for somebody and they always act like it's not enough, that absolutely does affect, how you feel about your efforts or yourself or what you deserve, right? So I feel like you ended up removing yourself from this, and it wasn't an easy choice, but it's almost as though you couldn't wait on this person anymore, right? They need to figure out their grief. They need to stop using you as like kind of this emotional support, whatever. They're not moving on is what this looks like. They're just staying incredibly stuck where they are. And what's kind of strange about this is enough time has passed that this shouldn't be a thing. Like they shouldn't still be looking back and thinking about this person from their past, right? They're so caught up in their own trauma or drama or grief. They can't see the offer that's right in front of them, which is you. I'm seeing that you got into a space of feeling like the longer you wait, the longer you're going to wait because nothing is moving. Nothing had been moving. And it's almost like the longer you sat with this person, the weaker you started to feel, the worse you started to feel. At present, unfortunately, it looks like this person has not come back towards you. If anything, they may have in your absence started spending time with other people, new people, it looks like. And I feel like they're just looking for someone to replace you, to like sit and listen to them sob or be sad, someone to be like a cheerleader for them and really cheer them on while they stay in this weird kind of grieving space, right? So don't take it personal because I can see here that you were hoping if you created distance and this person had to deal with themselves by themselves, they would start to feel like, oh man, Scorpio really showed up for me, or, life is hard without Scorpio, or I miss Scorpio. And they're not doing that at all, right? If anything, they're just looking for someone else to fill the role. And what I'm seeing here is that's making you feel even worse than had you have stayed, right? Because when you were there in your mind, you're like, okay, well, I feel the connection from them. I feel like it's mutual. Maybe they're just not awake to like what this is yet, or maybe they need time to heal. But then when you have removed yourself, right? And instead of them having that epiphany of like, oh man, Scorpio is where it's at, I really miss this person, they're just like, I'll just get a new one, whatever. Right. And maybe they're even in some ways moving on faster than you had thought they would. Right. Like, okay, if they don't come back, maybe they'll be in a relationship. But being that they made me wait 3 years, 10 years, it probably won't be for a long time. It's almost like you're seeing this person and all of a sudden they're like living with someone, right? Engaged to someone. It's just like, what the hell? Like, Why was that so easy for you to do for someone who has never shown up for you? But I'm here and I'm always in the background and I'm always supporting you. It's got you feeling worse, but I want you to understand this person is doing this on purpose. Okay. They are upset that you didn't keep cheering them on. They're upset because they feel like they don't have a part in your life, which is weird because when you offered this person a place in your life, they didn't want it, right? They didn't want to be like a permanent thing. This person, they feel like you could have anybody you want. And so that's kind of a big part of why they didn't go after you. Because if you look at their past partner, remember the person we talked about who had like all these really crappy attributes, right? They stayed with that person because that person was like, in their mind, not only the best they could do, but that person would never leave, right? Because they were so, like, there were so many things that were off about this person. Who would want them? They're not going anywhere. I'm safe. I'm never gonna be abandoned. This is a safe space because this person can't do better than me. I am the best they can do, right? So that was a big part of why they were attracted to that ex. And the fact that the ex still found someone to cheat with or something else to go do outside of them was really devastating to them. You know, that like totally destroyed their confidence. So when you showed up on the scene and you're like a normal person and you have it together and you're not, you know, stealing people's VCRs to buy crack or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like a normal, I have a business, I work a 9 to 5, I go to the gym, whatever you do, right? You're healthy. You're proactive about making positive changes in your life or you have goals. This person didn't feel like they were on your level whatsoever, you know, and being around you was really good for them and they really enjoyed it because it gave them a new perspective about what could be available to them if they did get over the ex. But they weren't looking at you as somebody being available to them. It was just more like, wow, look at this normal, healthy person spending time with me. I could probably raise my standards from like -20 to at least a -10. But in their mind, you're like 1,000, right? So they don't feel like they even have what it takes to be able to pull someone like you and keep someone like you, right? They feel like you would reject them eventually, or it would be only a matter of time before you saw them for who they were. For some reason, this person thinks that if they stay sad, it triggers you to want to be in their life, which is kind of weird, but it's almost like this person picks up on your desire to heal them. And so if this person seems like it took forever to get over their ex, in all honesty, I don't think that that was the truth. I think this person thought as long as they played sad, you would show up. But as soon as they were better, you would go off and be with someone else. Because you have to understand, in this person's mind, you're so far out of their league, you would never truly consider them to be a permanent fixture in your life. No matter what you say, I promise you, you're gonna be surprised to hear this, a lot of you. But they feel like you're just so much better than they are that if they stayed being sad, right, it would appeal to your good nature and you would make time for them and you would keep showing up for them, you know, or whatever. But once the sad boy or the sad girl trope is over, what's left, right? What's left? Nothing. You seeing me for exactly who I am. You expecting me to show up now because I'm not like, you know, completely handicapped by my sadness, right? So now I'm supposed to participate in building this new relationship. And you will see, Scorpio, that the best of my efforts are simply not enough. They're just not enough. So interesting to know, right? Maybe this will help you to know this about this person, that they weren't hung up on their ex. They were hung up on you. And they felt like as soon as they got over their ex, you would expect a relationship, and they knew that they couldn't give you what they think you deserve, right? For a lot of you, you're like, wow, I just wanted like the norm. I wasn't asking for that much. But you have to understand where this person's coming from, because if even like in their mind, the bottom of the barrel, the scum of the earth didn't want them when they were showing up, right? Why would you, when you're so much more elevated, like energetically or financially or spiritually, right? So don't be sad, because what I'm seeing with your Six of Wands, Nine of Cups, you're looking at this as like you were being rejected, right? Ace of Wands in the reverse. You took on all this person's baggage and their burden, and they never chose you. They never picked you. This person in their mind didn't even ever see you as an option, because why would you be? Right? It's almost like in their mind, they look at the two of you as different species. Why would you ever want to live in my world? Why would you ever want to introduce me as your significant other? What's weird though is I don't feel like this person showed up that way. If anything, they may have tried to make it seem like they just weren't interested in you, right? And so you get this really weird hot and cold behavior, because they want this, and so they like the attention you give, but then they pull away and they act like they're not interested or you're not enough. And I think because you held this person in high regard, when they act like this, you look at yourself before you look at them, right? You look at like, well, what's wrong with me? Like, I see the person they cry over and they're not that great, or I see the people they go for now. And, that's something that you could do, that I invite you to do, is to look at, who did they end up with now? Who is this person that it feels like they're rushing off to be with, right? What are they like? What do they like? What do they share on social media? What do their photos look like? What do they do for a living? I'm not saying be crazy, but what I am saying is, you will find, if you look into whoever your person is now dealing with, they're very they're kind of like a one step up from what you heard the ex is, right? But they're not someone that you could ever see yourself hanging out with. They're not someone that would ever be in your inner circle, right? You will be confused as to why would they choose someone that is like in your mind, okay, they don't have it together, and I was right here and I'm the total prize. Well, that's why they picked them, because they don't feel like a prize. They don't feel like you would stay, right? I think initially when you saw that this person ended up with someone else, it was very devastating to you, right? And I want you to like go back and look again, okay? Because how this person feels about themselves is going to be a reflection in the partner that they chose. It has nothing to do with you, because as much as this person likes you, they don't even see you as being someone that would want to build a life with them, okay? So hopefully that will help, because I can see in your present, there's a lot of like sadness, or feeling as though you have been abandoned, feeling like everybody gets their happily ever after, but you, feeling like perhaps source or God or whatever you believe in has forgotten you, right? Like, why is everybody else able to find their match? Who will I ever be a match for, right? In your future, though, you have some really positive cards. So you've got Knight of Pentacles, why it's happening, Page of Cups, excuse me, advice, Four of Swords. So This is not just you moving forward in a way that it's almost like you want to better yourself even more in the future to become like um a better version of yourself. Like, I think that as you're looking at this and you're seeing what this person settled for yet again, it almost makes you question your own standards and start to think like, maybe my bar has been in hell, maybe it's time for me to raise the bar. Am I my own type's type? Like, if I want somebody who's athletic, maybe I should start working out more. Or if I want somebody who's financially stable, now would be a really good time to pay off my debts or open that IRA, right? There's an energy of you trying to take this as like a lesson and not keep staying like hung up in the sadness of how this situation made you feel. Hopefully, it's because you got to watch this reading and you're like, oh, wait, I don't have a reason to be sad about this at all. Like, this is not a me thing, this is a them thing. Hopefully, that's why you got all these positive cards, right? So, Knight of Pentacles, it seems like the more you move forward, some of you could be getting a new job, going back to school, starting like a new health regimen and having a massive glow up. The more attention you're going to attract, okay? That's from this previous person, but I'm also seeing new attention. And you might not be ready for it, is kind of what this looks like. You might not want it, but I think there's something that's very triggering about you. Rather than you like lowering your self-esteem or your like where you live on a daily basis, right? Like the level that you're at, lowering that to be this person's type, it's almost like this makes you just want to be even better. And so this person starts to feel fearful because you are already so out of their league. What happens when you do better? Like, you could have already had anyone you wanted in their mind, or certainly you didn't want them in their mind. What's going to happen now, right? You are amazing and single. So when you're extraordinary, it's only a matter of time before someone proposes to you. And now I've lost my Scorpio forever. So this person feels triggered. They will be feeling triggered. And something you might not realize is like, whoever this person ended up with, you think that they tried to replace you so that they could keep crying about their ex. But in all honesty, they just are looking for someone to cry about you too. You get what I mean? All right, so it looks like there's going to be some new attention coming in for you. And the old person is going to be watching very closely because they want to see what you will do. I don't know if they matter to you. It seems like they do, because I'm seeing a lot of cards that are talking about you having a hard time completely moving on from this person by the time you're getting new offers. I think part of the problem with that is that the old person will also be in your environment as well and trying to make offers to you. And so it's like you're getting what you want from the old person, but now you're getting all this new attention. And so it's like, man, this person did all this weird stuff and they took so long, and now there's people that are choosing me the first time around and they don't have a bunch of baggage. I don't know that the old person is what I want, right? And for each of you, it will be something different, but it looks like you'll definitely have your choice to be able to do what you please. Like, you'll be able to either start fresh with someone new, or you could go back and kind of figure out what's been going on with whoever this person that's so very stuck is, right? I feel like even if you were to go back towards this person, a lot of their fears will get triggered, because think about how they were when you were dealing with them. Now, and you're like Scorpio 2.0, right? They will get triggered even faster, which is strange. But something that might be good is they might feel triggered to, oh, okay. I was gonna say they might feel triggered to like get on your level a little more, but this actually is not what I'm seeing. Wishful thinking, right? What the cards are showing me is that this person will feel triggered to come back into your space, because it's almost like they will want to hurt you and get you back to that place of like waiting around for them or thinking that maybe there's like a possibility, right? If there's something about this person in the future, it's like they want to come back just to kind of ignore you because they know how damaging that is to your self esteem. And it's sad because I don't think that this person is like horrible, but I think maybe they were raised by a narcissist or they have like narcissistic tendencies from things that they've seen in their past or from that karmic ex. Maybe they picked up some of their qualities or their like the way they move, because it's almost like this previous person comes back just to try to like knock the wind out of your sails when you're doing so good. Okay, so try not to get distracted if you can help it. I know it's tempting to want to check back in and be like, hey, look how great I'm doing. But if you do, just take everything this person says or does with a grain of salt, because it feels like they would intentionally try to put you back somewhere that you don't want to be. But when you were back there, you were at least willing to give them attention. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, new love. You also, for some of you, this like the old person will come back and still have a relationship with someone else. And so they could try to be like, oh, let's just be friends, right? And that's their way of being able to keep tabs on you. That's their way of being able to be a part of your life and kind of know what you're doing. And I think that's also a way for them to put you back in that space of feeling upset, because it's like, if what they're doing isn't working, where they have a significant other that isn't you, it could be because you're busy and you're not watching. So maybe I need to go back to Scorpio and I need to make sure that they're in my life so that hopefully they'll be watching my antics, and then they will start feeling bad enough that maybe they'll settle for me when I do come back, you know? Just be cautious, right? Your advice is actually the Four of Swords. So if you were thinking about giving this person a second chance, maybe think about it a little bit harder, right? Because you could be selling your own self short by allowing this person to have a seat at your table, right? I think that when you start getting attention from other people, your perspective will shift on this previous relationship. And I think that something that you should probably be cautious of is moving too fast or moving from the space of like your emotion versus your logic. Because when this person is back in your space, it's like, why now, right? Why now? Well, because they see you doing great and they need to kind of sabotage that. For some of you, this person literally went and found a new significant other because they knew that they were taking so long to get over this previous ex that it was getting ridiculous. So they almost had to like create something new to be sad about so they could come back into your life and be like, oh, my newest relationship didn't work. Can you listen to me cry about this for 2 years and we can have sex, and then I'll just never commit to you because I know that you're going to leave anyway, right? Very strange person you're dealing with. I'm not really sure what their deal is, why they act like this, but I feel like with the new love, you know, you're being advised to give love a second chance, because I think this has been so like frustrating to you that maybe you just got sick of love for a bit, you know. You are being advised to give love a second chance. And it looks like the next person that you meet, like a new person, could honestly be someone that you end up in a long-term relationship with. But you definitely would have to get rid of this old situation, because they're always going to try to kind of sabotage what you have, because like as long as you're alone, they can keep coming back and crying about whatever their problem is, their newest problem that they made for themselves. What I'm seeing though is that by the time you meet this new person, it's not going to be a difficult decision at all, because you got this Emperor in the reverse that you're leaving and you're walking towards an Emperor. So you're not going to have a problem cutting this out of your life. Even if you feel like this is your twin, your attitude would be like, well, maybe next lifetime, but I really like where I am, right? I really like the person I'm with. I like what I'm doing. So let me get you an oracle card. I'm sorry for this person. It feels like you threw a lot of good energy into this, and they just seem so strange. Like, maybe comment down below. Let me know, because I'm curious what creates somebody like this, where they just have to be like the perpetual victim, and they'd rather go create problems for themselves to try to keep you in their life than to just get on your level and keep you in their life. That's very strange to me. All right, you got a ton of cards. And as always, whatever comes out, I take it. So we'll go through them one at a time. Bottom of your deck is power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or walk away at any time. You also got, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. So I feel like this card is definitely for those of you who feel like, oh, this is my twin. I have to hang in there. I have to stick it out. Not all twin flame connections are meant to be, a forever union in this lifetime. That's how I'll say that. All right, sexual union. Honor the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find bliss. I think that's what this person needs to do. I feel like this could be an unawakened divine masculine energy, but I also think that there's a soulmate coming in for you. Wow, yep, twin flames, your passion ignites. So we know what this is. This is an unawakened masculine. And, I think that spirit or whatever you believe in is getting kind of sick of watching this person toy with you. And so it's almost like, have you ever watched a show where there's the couple that they're supposed to be together and they always have all these problems? And then all of a sudden, like, the girl meets a totally amazing person and ends up dating her, and the guy who took her for granted has to like watch. I think that's what's happening here, is that the universe is bringing you your own Six of Wands in the upright, like your own victory, where someone will like put you on a pedestal and treat you the way that you deserve, so that this person can see what that looks like, right? And maybe further down the line, who knows, right? But right now, your job is to go where the new is taking you. So you got my beloved. Though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united. For love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. Yeah, I think this is a twin flame connection. And I just think that this person has been doing the most. So I think it's good for you to be able to move on and to meet someone who treats you really nice. And it's okay that this person has a front row seat to that, right? I'm not saying play games, but if you are ready to move on, it's not fair for yourself to keep pushing good away because you're waiting for this, but you're going to do what you want with it. All right, Scorpio, this has been your August reading. I will speak to all of you again soon, and you take very good care of yourselves. Bye.